we got our work cut out for us tonight, guys. So this is, like I said, treat this like an AMA. Keep me company. I'm gonna be paying attention to the chat because I have monitors right here. We're gonna switch the scene if you guys are watching on Twitch or YouTube, so that way you guys will see stuff on the side stream, and you guys on TikTok, you guys can just really try to enjoy the sounds of this, and then we will go and do the distance. All right, guys? So treat it like an AMA. Have fun. Let's do that. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to start with this knife that needs the most, both knives that need the most repair, which are going to be these two, right? So we're going to put some water on, and we're going to start with the rougher side, which is going to be this darker one. This is a 100 grit, I believe. So what we're going to do is create a burr. Oh, I do have to do this really, really fast. Before I do anything else, I have to promote this one thing really fast. I know I have to whore myself out, guys. That's the whole point I'm doing this, man. That's what I'm doing. I gotta be an Uber whore. I'm sorry. I am the worst, right? I am the worst. Let me do this. We'll do this. See if that goes through. Yeah, it went through. All right, cool. So I did that, all that jazz. And TikTok, I know you guys are all like, oh, Brawl Stars, where are you? I'm like, well, I'm not doing Brawl Stars tonight. I might if I'm like really, really, really like, but we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling, guys. Guys, you can even tell by the sound of my voice that I am definitely not 100%. I am 90%. What angle am I supposed to hold the knife? No, that's not a new question at all. It really depends on the steel, and it really depends on the knife, right? So generally, if you are not sure, you take 2 coins, right? 2 quarters if you have them, or 2 pennies, whatever coin. They're all usually the same unless they're a nickel or a dime. And you kind of want to go like this, or if you don't have a coin, like let me show you like this, right? What's a good angle? All right, right here. Actually, let's do it like this, right? So you want to have it like this, and then you go halfways. So this is 90 degrees, right? Then you go halfways. Now we're at 45 degrees. And then if you go half again, that is essentially where you want to be. That's a good like sweet zone. So you like 20 to 23% is, or degree is what you aim for. I aim for personally like around like when I'm grinding, I go even steeper than that. So I'll start with like a close to like a 17 degree angle. And the reason why is because I'm trying to be more aggressive with creating a brand new edge. So like immediately look at this side, right? And I haven't done a pass on this side. But if you look at this side right off the bat and you see that amount that I have done, that's more like a 17 degree angle, and automatically this is the roughest side of this. Of all the stones I've had, this is like 100 grit, right? So, and it's already getting rid of that much. So I don't need to do so much work on this stone unless I'm taking a lot of metal off, right? Now, this knife, I need to do that because there is a lot of imperfections. So I'm only starting at this just to initially make the rest of the metal come off easier once I get to the tip. That's it. So I'll initially start there and then go do one on this side. So both sides of the metal are even, and go from there, right? So that was one pass on that side. I'll work on this. Right. So you see now that we have like that pre-polish, right? And this is not polished at all yet. You'll see what the polish will look like when we get to that stage, right? Let me move this camera a little bit over. There we go. That's where you're supposed to live. I know it's not a big difference, but so from here, what we're going to do is we're going to go up further, and now we'll work on like that 19-20 degree angle, right? Yeah, I know I do sound very sick because that's the thing. I feel fine except for my throat. And my throat, it's like, it only hurts when I'm actually trying to clear my throat. Other than that, it doesn't hurt to swallow. It doesn't hurt to talk. It doesn't hurt to do anything like that. But at the same time, I'm also like kind of out of breath, which is weird. Haven't had a sickness like this before. Now, also another thing is like we want to go throughout the entire thing. Well, I make it look easy because I've had a lot of trial and error. Like, I'll show you some knives I've done before. This is all like just trying to go. And this is something that I've practiced a lot with knives that aren't meant to really be sharpened. You know, like those shitty box set knives, those cuisine art knives. Yeah, you don't. Also, don't ever buy a box set, ever. All right, so automatically we are already almost getting rid of those imperfections that were in there. This is Pedro. I'm just hearing all the alerts. I'm still learning how to set them up on Twitch. Hold up, Pedro. Okay. Oh. IKEA knives. You know what? I wouldn't put it past them, but at the same time, I also don't think that they are the worst. You know. All right, where was I? So I got to find the burr. Okay, so we have to get to this side next. So let's do that. It's a bloody party. Yeah, you're right. So essentially, you know, you guys hear about like getting the burr and everything, building it up. And yeah, we do want to build a burr. And you have to. That's necessary. But like a lot of people talk about it a lot more extreme than I feel it needs to be. Especially now that we are living in a world where everyone who is passionate about cooking in some form or fashion has at least one Japanese metal knife, Japanese steel knife, right? So Japanese steel traditionally is softer, yet harder, if that makes sense, right? So it's softer in the sense where, okay, take that back. I'm sorry. It is not softer, but the degrees, the angles on there are much more extreme. That's just the design. So they are not going to, depending on how you use them, Pedro. What the alerts are, I don't even know. Okay. So we have where was I? All right. So what we want to do is the angle is going to be much more extreme, and depending on how you use them, a lot of, for lack of a better word, white folk tend to do a lot of like really choppy work, And a lot of Eastern style knives are meant for more slicing work instead of chop work. And there's a reason why I say, like, German steel, even American steel knives are great for kitchens too. Not everyone needs a Japanese style knife. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of people who have Japanese steel don't know how to use Japanese steel. Every single one of these knives, except for this one, is a Japanese steel. However, this knife is made in the style of it, and it's my favorite knife, right? So there's nothing wrong with having a really nice $40 Wüsthof or Henkel's, those German steel knives, or even Dexter. Dexter was my very first knife set, and if I didn't sell it, I would still have it because they're amazing knives. And I can tell you, I beat the shit out of those knives, right? I beat the shit out of those knives. So we made the burr. Let me double check really fast to see. Let's put it on the light. So the rest of any imperfections I can do on the other side of this. And this knife is the only other knife that I want to create a new edge. Now, we are not doing any like actual repair work for this, right? It doesn't look like it needs it. However, I do want to make sure I get a really nice grind. And you can see the layers on this, guys, right? So Shun is really, really known for their Damascus. I don't know, honestly, if they are still doing this. This ain't Brawl Stars. It ain't Brawl Stars pipe. I don't give a fuck. So. No, so Jazz, yes and no, right? It really depends on how you use your knives. A knife is really based off of what you are comfortable with, right? So if you're going to say you're going to have every style of knife, you're going to have, like 2 drawerfuls of knives. Honestly, you'd be surprised at how many knives are made for culinary purposes. And that's just saying one of each country or even one of each style. It's way too much. You only need 3 knives, ever, right? So if we go back into this knife though, however, so the layers are supposed to be each layer of steel that is put into, pounded out, rounded, and all that shit, right? But I don't know if Shun is still actually traditionally doing this, which isn't a bad thing, right? Like I said, technology has advanced so much where stamped knives are actually really, really great. But I don't want to do the same effect that I've done with this knife. Now you see how aggressive that I did this edge? I'm not going to do that with here. I still want to try my hardest because one, this is not a knife that I bought or own or is within my family. This is one of my cook's knives. And two, I want to still maintain like that, how it looks, right? So we're going to go straight into, and now I know that Shun does their knives from 17 to 19 degree angles. So we're going to work off of that angle right off the bat, right? So what we're going to do is create a burr. Still going to go. So for every knife, I only do like one way through and one way back if I've never worked with it before. And the reason why is because the steel is different for every single knife. Even if it's, let's say I got 2 identical knives from 2 different cooks, it's going to work differently. I know that there are some people like, no, it's the same steel, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, you don't understand. Other cooks, everyone holds their knife differently. And the way, the angle that they cut, no one cooks at a perfect 90-degree angle. There's not a single person on the planet that does that consistently. So I want to make sure, like, hey, we're gonna create it in a fashion that makes sense, right? And that's something that you can do. Can you over sharpen your knife? Yeah and no, right? So let me create the burr and let me explain after I do that. All right, so we created the bird. So